Tonight on News 5 Live, a vendor of Valley of Peace is shot and killed in Gungulung. A pair of men arraigned for the murder of an elderly Kontiki resident. PM Briceño discusses the immigration issue with CARICOM nationals, and the BNTU elects a new president. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi-store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
With so many different styles of light bulbs, sometimes it's tricky to choose the right one. Whether it's a screw-in, candelabra base, or pins, we have what you need. From lamps to ceiling fans, floodlights or chandeliers, we have bulbs available in cool white, warm white, or daylight. All you have to do is choose. Once you have chosen your bulb, the final choice is technology. LED technology is energy efficient, long-lasting, produces a high-quality light, and saves you money. Choose wisely and let Benny's be your one-stop for lights. Benny's, quality and saving.
From Corozal to Toledo, Belize is a melting pot of cultures. Travel with us as we take you to a different part of the country each week in a special series called This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture, brought to you by the Belize Tourism Board. Starting March 15th, watch the episodes on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. on the National Channel and the Belize Hotel Association channel, and at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 5, and Fridays on Love TV at 7:30 p.m. Episodes will also premiere on Thursdays on the Belize Tourism Board's Facebook page and YouTube channel. This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture.
Whether you are getting ready for school or the office, or to work on a construction site, there is one common factor. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you start to button your shirt, strap your boots, or straighten your badge, every detail of your uniform was sourced with you in mind. At Tropicana Store, we pride ourselves in providing the highest quality, most durable uniform brands. Our collection includes 100% cotton or dry fit, wrinkle-free, smart crease, and machine washable options. Your uniform is a reflection of you, and you deserve to look your best. Visit Tropicana Store today and see for yourself the high quality that only we can provide. Your uniform, your identity, your choice. Only at Tropicana Store.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, April 13th. I am Sabrina Daly. There was a murder in Belize City overnight, and it happened just off Holy Emmanuel Street. A businessman from Cayo District was at a bar just before midnight when he was attacked and robbed by a trio of men. He was fatally shot before the robbers made off with his wallet and licensed firearm. While a surveillance camera is mounted on a perch nearby, it is unclear whether footage of the deadly ordeal was captured by the device. Earlier today, News 5's Isani Cayetano visited the area and filed the following report.
A vegetable vendor from Valley of Peace was shot and killed on Wednesday night in the Gungulung area of Belize City. The incident happened around 11 p.m. while 35-year-old Jose Antonio Lopez was socializing at an establishment on Barbara Harris Street.
When I hear I'm going shot, I usually would come out at least way out here, so, because I live way through there, so, but I never come out because the night me very dark and I never really want to come out in the, you know, I just hear it and just humble myself and pray that nobody never get shot, but in the morning now we hear somebody get shot.
Lopez was inside this nondescript saloon when he was reportedly accosted by 3 armed individuals. An altercation ensued and one of the men opened fire on the businessman. It is believed that he was the victim of an armed robbery turned murder. His sister, also a resident of Valley of Peace, spoke with us off camera.
I would say yes. I would say the person that did it knew his routine, knew what he was doing in the city, so definitely it was somebody that knew him. He goes to sell in Belize City 2 times for the week. He left yesterday in the evening. He was preparing to sell early this morning at the market.
But Jose Lopez would not make it to the Michael Finnegan market at daybreak. The location where the father of 4 was gunned down overnight has a surveillance camera overlooking the premises. Its presence, nonetheless, is little comfort to a community that is concerned about public safety ever since the bar opened its doors to the neighborhood a few months ago.
When the incident happened about 1 month back, with one fella, his tire get destroyed because maybe they want to rob him, and they never get fit do it. But after that, the owner of the bar put up cameras. But I'm telling him put the camera up on the long post for everybody's safety, you know, as he have one bar. With your camera to protect everybody, even people with the pass, make you know what happened outside your bar. And he put the camera, so the camera catch way for actually catch what happened last night, you know.
Lopez's family is having a hard time dealing with the sudden loss of their loved one, the youngest of 5 siblings.
It's very hard. He's the youngest of 5, especially for my mom. At her age and with all her illness, she was caring, loving, family-oriented. He was from work to home. He wouldn't farm.
According to Louina Garnett, Belize City Police have taken her sons into custody, despite the fact that they were at home with her at the time of the incident.
Them they in the house, so all the women they in our bed, so I don't know why. Well, the police and they do their job too, you know, the investigation, and that's about it. You know, all I know they curse, including my picnic, so. And I know that, I don't want to say I don't know that, because I they in my house, you know, but I know them they in my house with me too. I'm a picnic and stay right in. But you know, then he had a gunshot down, and me he had a gunshot, for be honest. I hear it and I get up and peep through my window. And I should have come out, but I never come out because I never really believe that somebody gets shot until this morning I learned somebody gets shot.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
2 adults and 2 minors have been arraigned for a burglary in Los Lagos, where $38,000, a high-powered rifle, and several other items were stolen. On Tuesday night, we told you that thieves broke into a home over the Easter holiday and escaped with these items. Well, tonight, 2 of the 4 suspects have been placed on curfew after being arraigned before Senior Magistrate Tricia Pitts Anderson. The accused are 46-year-old Kirk Douglas, 20-year-old Lyndon Chun, and 2 minors aged 16 and 12 years old from Belmopan. They were jointly charged with 1 count of burglary, while Lyndon Chun and the other 2 minors were charged jointly for possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. They were allegedly found with 532 grams of cannabis. They all pleaded not guilty to the 2 charges. The prosecutor, Sergeant Christopher Smith, had no objection to bail, but asked the court to set conditions to their bail. He requested that a curfew be set for the accused and that the minors remain in school. He further asked that they be instructed to join after-school programs with the Community Rehabilitation Department. Bail was offered to the adults in the sum of $5,000 each, plus 2 sureties of $2,500 each, while the 2 minors were handed over into the care of their mother after meeting bail in the sum of $2,000. The conditions of the bail for the minors are that they remain living with their parents. They cannot change their address or move out without first notifying the court, and they cannot associate with any known gang members or convicted gang members or gang associates. Both minors were instructed to be indoors between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Opposition leader Shyam Barrow has issued a statement denouncing the Belizean administration's decision to take stricter measures against Haitian and Jamaican nationals traveling to Belize. That decision comes amid an increase in the number of persons arriving from those countries and subsequently crossing over into Mexico illegally en route to North America. The leader of the opposition cites a 2013 judgment by the Caribbean Court of Justice in respect of the free movement of CARICOM nationals across the region. Nonetheless, Prime Minister Briceño responded to Barrow's statement in an interview with the media this morning.
I think the leader of the opposition is suffering from attention deficit disorder, that just wants attention, because he knows what is happening. We did not take it lightly. Actually, it is his father, during being the Prime Minister then, that required the Haitians to get a visa to come into Belize, contrary to the Treaty of Chagaramas. I do not recall the no leader of the opposition back then calling out the UDP saying that you're moving contrary to the Treaty of Chagaramas. It was our government that said, we need to implement the Treaty of Chagaramas and to remove the visa waiver. But of late, we've been seeing a trend where a lot of Haitians, and rightly so, they're trying to get out of a really, really bad situation in Haiti, finding ways how to get to the United States. And now they realize that once you get to Belize, because we have a land border with Mexico, you have people that smuggle them into Mexico and take them on to the United States. The Minister of Immigration has even pointed out that there are websites in Santo Domingo or in the Dominican Republic and in Haiti where they're advertising, come to us, we will get you to Belize, and from Belize we will get you to the United States. That's human trafficking. The United States government has already been looking at us and calling our attention and saying, listen, we are seeing now evidence of human trafficking through your country. And so what is it that you're going to do? So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. We had no other option but to remove the visa, to implement now a visa requirement for Haitians. For Jamaicans, we're seeing the same trend, but it's not as pronounced as the Haitian nationals. So what we again have said, that it is something that we are considering. We have not done it as yet. But what we agree to, the Minister of Immigration has said that he will be speaking with the Ministry of Tourism in Belize and also with his counterpart, the Foreign Minister of Jamaica and the Minister of Immigration to see how best we could address this. We welcome Jamaicans to come to Belize. As I said earlier, Jamaica has been a close ally of Belize from the start of our nationalist movement. We've had this history together. We work together, and the Minister Holness and myself, we're personal friends. From time to time, we call one another, and so it is not something that we're just going to do just on a whim. It is something that we're trying to find how best to address that issue of Jamaicans that come to Belize for them to be able to go to the United States. So that decision has not been made. It is a decision that we're looking at. We're discussing it with the Ministry of Tourism. Foreign Minister, Minister of Immigration will be also, he has been in contact with his counterparts in Jamaica. So I think the leader of the opposition is just calling for attention for himself without really thinking it through.
Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai also weighed in on the matter, saying that Belize's decision to add more requirements for Haitian and Jamaican nationals to enter the country has nothing to do with trade. Mai explained that while he has said that it is difficult to conduct trade with CARICOM because of all of the red tape mechanisms in place, the decision now to require more from these travelers is based solely on immigration reasons.
In the case of we putting on requirements for visas to the Jamaicans, it has nothing to do with trade. It has to see with the human trafficking that's passing through the country. We've seen the data showing the amount of Jamaicans that come into the country and do not leave. And so where are they? Where are these Jamaicans? And so the government has to react to this. Now, the Jamaican government may not be happy with it, but we also have a responsibility to act and to safeguard our borders from human trafficking. It is a global problem, human trafficking. And if the US, who's our trading partner, tells us, listen guys, you need to tighten on this, then we need to do so. So I believe that it is in the best interest of the country to do something about it. And it's also in the best interest for our Jamaican friends, government, to do something about it too, because many of these people do not reach the US. These people die on the way to the US. I've seen people, I've heard of it, I've seen families speak about it, that families die, and so I think we're all in this together. So it's not a punitive measure because of trade because of lack of trade or lack of easy trade to the CARICOM. It's not that. That's not the case.
Last week, the Ministry of Immigration explained the reason for the increase in the cost of the new e-passport. A comparison for the cost of similar travel documents across the region was also provided. Nonetheless, the opposition has also condemned the steep increase in the cost of the passport. This morning in Orange Walk, we put the question of the price hike to Prime Minister John Bursenio. Here's how he rationalized the increase.
When we get into government, the Minister of Immigration immediately brought us to attention that we have a crisis, that these passports, the machines are breaking down. I think only Belize City and Bemapan was working, even none of the rest were working, and we can't call anyone to get to the parts to fix it. And in some instances, we were taking as much as 6 or 7 pictures to be able to get one to fit in a passport. So we knew we had to bite the bullet and to do something about it. We looked at different companies. We put a bid worldwide, and we had 3 companies. And I think it's e-passports from a company from Canada that won the bid. It is it's a huge investment that we did, and we ensure now that these passports can store your biometrics. They have a microchip in it, and as you all know, there's been a shortage of microchips, so it delayed the implementation of these new passports, and secondly, the cost has gone up. I know a lot of people are very concerned about the cost, and so are us in cabinet. But we decided that then the consumers should pay for the passport. I don't think it's fair for a cane farmer that has no interest in getting a passport for them to be able to help to subsidize a passport for a person like myself that is traveling. And so what the minister did is says, okay, now we're going to move the passport from 5 years to 10 years. So in effect, your passport is costing you $20 per year. Secondly, it's a passport now that is accepted worldwide. One of the problems we're having with the European Union is that they require us to get a visa from them. And one of the reasons why they're saying that is because they did not trust the passport, how secure, how safe it is. Now that we have this new system, they're saying, okay, now we're taking another look, and hopefully in the near future they may say, okay, we're going to do a visa waivers for Belizeans. So it is a necessary investment, and we had to put in a new system. And secondly, we had to make sure that we could put a system or a passport system that can serve us for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And thirdly, a passport that would be accepted worldwide.
Coming up, where is CEO Leal and which ministry is he going to? Find out the details when we come back.
Years ago, I decided to provide respite care to young Jose who lives at the children's home. So now during the Easter, summer, and Christmas holidays, he would come and spend time with me and my daughter at our home. Sometimes he even comes on weekends. We try to engage in as many fun activities as possible, giving him all the care and attention he deserves. Even though he is with us only part-time, he has become part of my small family, and we always look forward to spending time with him during the holidays. I could not have been happier to have made this decision.
Contact the Department of Human Services and find out how you can become a foster or adoptive parent and be that heart of gold.
The last time the Orange Walk Running Rebels were at the Civic Center, they put a beating on our outside brother who were trying to defend the city. But it's now time that big brother, your Belize Hurricanes, avenge this thrashing for our siblings and make the rebels respect the city.
Let's go. All around.
This Friday night, April 14th at the Belize Civic Center, 9 p.m. sharp, basketball is back from its Easter break when the #1 team in the BEBL, Belize Hurricanes, goes up against the hottest team in the land, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, where your Hurricanes is about to put a smacking on running rebels. This game may be a finals preview. It gets no bigger than this, where your lengthy team, Belize Hurricanes, led by the tall Chris Fraser, Jamel Harris, Alex Kakama, Kirk Shabba Smith Jr., Greg Buckley and Marquise Cunningham, go up against the wide Orange Walk Running Rebels, led by Big Brian Beso White, Elvis Oliveira, and Matthew Young, in a battle dub that's length versus width. The Bad Boys are back! Bring out the entire family this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center to see your city favorite, Belize Hurricanes, versus the Orange Walk Running Rebels in a battle for the #1 seat.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The halftime show will feature a half-court shot to win $4,000. Remember to sign up for the Serena Bay Villas First 5 $4,000 contest. Primary schoolers and high schoolers, bring out your posters and compete for the $500 prize. Lots of phone and tablet giveaways, courtesy of Smart and Cellular World. The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
The Belize Tourism Board is looking for a catchy and creative jingle for its Civic Pride campaign. The campaign promotes values such as pride and appreciation for Belize, no littering, respect for our national anthem and flag, and protection of our resources, to name a few. Qualifying jingles must be 30 to 45 seconds long in MP3 format. The lyrics should be primarily in English, but can include phrases from other cultural groups in Belize, and must include the words civic pride and Belize. Jingles will be judged based on creativity, originality, musical talent, overall quality, clarity, and compliance with competition rules and guidelines. The winner of the jingle competition will receive a cash prize of $3,000. You have until April 17th, 2023 to email your jingle to pr@BelizeTourismBoard.org. For rules and guidelines, call 227-2420, visit BTB's Facebook page, or email us at pr@BelizeTourismBoard.org.
Live your best life and explore more with Samsung. Go on an adventure, travel in style, and capture your memories with a Galaxy. This month, Samsung phones start at an edge extremely low price of only $309, and Galaxy Tab start at only $399. The full Galaxy lineup includes the A03, A04, A23, A33, A53, S20 FE, Z Flip, Z Fold 4, Tab A7, and the latest and most innovative release, the S23 series. Perfect for capturing all of life's adventures. Plus, when you buy any A-series device, you'll get a free 32GB SD card. Shop these awesome devices at any of Samsung's authorized resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Quartz, and Odette's Home Center, and get 1-year local warranty with your purchase. So venture out and explore more with Samsung.
As we reported earlier this week, the British Caribbean Bank and Prize Investment Holdings are at odds with the government over the rejection of the proposed Port of Belize expansion project. Together, they have opted to invoke the bilateral investment treaty between Belize and the UK for resolution. The last time this was done was back in 2009, when the previous UDP administration, under Prime Minister Dean Barrow, nationalized BTL. Belize ended up paying over $500 million when the court ruled in favor of the former owner of the telecoms giant. But PM Briceño told the media today that the circumstances are different and that throughout the process, the government has been following the law.
We've always said that we have to follow the law. We have to follow the process. And all projects, especially huge projects like the Waterloo project, it's a huge one. So we have to make sure that we do it right, that we ensure that we can take the necessary steps to protect our environment. And so the NIAC, they have ensured that they follow every step of the way, and they decided, as a group, it's a group of over 12 individuals that decided that they don't think that it should be approved based on what is in front of them. Now, if they make the necessary changes, probably they would have a different look. If there's a petition against the project, again, it's the right of our citizens. It is a democratic right if they to express their views for or against, and that's okay, and we will take that into consideration. And as to the investors for the Waterloo Group, if they want to invoke that treaty, again, it is their right. We have a treaty between Belize and the United Kingdom in the protection of investments, and so they'll do that, and we as a government obviously will have to defend the interests of Belize. So again, it is within their right to be able to invoke the protection under that treaty. No one wants to pick a fight with anyone, especially with Mr. Ashcroft, who has deep pockets, and we don't look forward to that. But we have to protect the interests of Belize. And it's a big difference between what's happening with Waterloo and what happened with BTL. With BTL, the government illegally nationalized a company. And then the government knew that they will have to compensate because they took away an asset. I think it was foolish for the government of Belize to drag us through the courts. It's almost like a James Bond movie. We were in Paris, we were in London, we were in New York, we were in Miami, we were in Central America. We're all over the world in having these fights with Lord Ashcroft when the Prime Minister then knew that they will have to pay. We are not doing that. We have not nationalized anything. We have not done anything illegal. All we are doing is following the process of the law. We know that Belize is recognized as an environmental paradise. and that we believe that we also have a responsibility, not only to Belizeans, but to humanity in protecting the reef. It's a God-given gift, and it is our responsibility to be able to protect it for future generations. So we have to ensure that we do it right. And if the Waterloo Group were to meet the criteria that have been set by the NEAC, the government will fully support what they're doing.
Where is Chief Executive Officer Marconi Leal Jr.? The last time we heard about the embattled CEO, he was on personal leave after a falling out with Minister Rodwell Ferguson at the Ministry of Transport, Youth and Sports. There was also information to suggest that Leal would be transferred to another ministry. Today, while with Prime Minister John Briceño, he confirmed that Leal Jr. will remain as a CEO in his administration, but would not confirm who will be his replacement under Minister Ferguson. Here's how he responded to the question.
I don't think there's a real issue between both gentlemen, but the issue is that CEO Leal remains as a CEO, and he will continue to be a CEO in our government. And the Ministry of Transport and Youth and Sports, again, the minister is working on a new transport policy, which requires a lot of dedication and delicate negotiations with the bus owners. And so the work will continue, and I will tell you that CEO Leal will remain as a CEO for the government of Belize.
Sir, but is he going to move over to another ministry, and then you bring in a new CEO for it?
Well, that has not been finalized. That may happen, but we don't know as yet. We still, CEO Leal has been on holiday. I mean, he hasn't had a holiday. Literally from the day he got in, he was appointed as a CEO. It's something that I have to discuss with him and the minister. And certainly we have a lot of work all over. So we do know that he will remain as a part of the team.
Earlier today, when News 5 caught up with Prime Minister John Briceño, we asked him for comments on the 53rd annual BNTU convention being held in his backyard at the Muffles College Auditorium. As you heard earlier, a new national executive for the labor movement has been elected. PM Briceño says that the union is a partner that has his government's utmost respect.
Well, we've always seen the BNTU as a partner. We've never seen them as an adversary. And that was, again, the problem previously, that the government felt that they have to be fighting with BNTU because they don't support whatever it is initiatives they may do. The BNTU has their own agenda, or they see things differently in many instances. Sometimes we see eye to eye, and sometimes we don't. But that's a part of it. That is why that's a part of a democracy, whereby people can speak out for or against of what you're doing. They have their responsibilities to their membership, and we have our responsibility to the country to ensure that during that time. So we may have our differences, but we work together. Actually, it was under my, as Prime Minister, I recommended Senator Elena Smith to be able to be recognized, to get under the what is that, MB, I think, or one of them, that we give her for the recognition of the work that she has done, not only as a teacher and educator, but also as a leader and a union leader. Today they're going to elect a new president, so I want to take the opportunity to thank Elena for the outstanding work that she did. You know, she's a firebrand, but when we meet person to person, she is calm and determined and have her position. But we work together, and that's what I have great respect and admiration for her, to be able to do that. I wish them well with the new in the new elections of a new executive, and I want to point to say no, that whosoever the new executive is, whosoever is the new president, our government is prepared to work with them as partners in the development of our young people in education.
The 53rd annual convention of the Belize National Teachers Union began on Wednesday in Orange Walk. And while the convention is held to discuss and thrash out issues affecting teachers and to determine the way forward for the union, it is also an election year for the BNTU. As we've been reporting, the leadership of the union is retiring from their respective posts, and new blood will be elected to the National Executive Council. The presidency, which has been held by Senator Elena Smith, sees 3 candidates making bids, while 2 others are running for vice president and 2 for secretary. The treasurer is being endorsed. At this time, the counting is still underway, and News 5's Dwayne Moody and cameraman Daryl McGale were on the ground.
Thank you, Sabrina. Good evening, Belize. I am here at the Muffles College Auditorium in Orange Walk, where the election of a new executive for the Belize National Teachers Union is taking place. Just after 3 this afternoon, the voting process began. Ruth Showman, Ray Martinez, and Efashina Efinemi are vying for the national president of the BNTU. At this time, the counting is underway. We have 662 votes that were cast this afternoon, and it is not only to determine a national president, but also for a Vice President and Secretary of the National Executive Council of the Firebrand Union. Just before the counting began, we were able to get a quick interview with the outgoing President, Senator Elena Smith.
So for today, we are electing our President-elect, our first Vice President, our Secretary, and then our Treasurer was endorsed because there were no other persons vying for that position. So what you see here are our members from the various branches coming in to cast their vote. We as BNTU have put ourselves out there. We have stood apart from all the others. And our country recognizes us, they believe in us, and they respect us. And it is going to be left up to the next team, not just the president, because the president doesn't make decisions on his or her own. The president has a council that makes those decisions. And so I am hoping that whoever takes over, I expect that they would continue the same path that we have, have been doing. But I also expect for them to do better. Because you must never expect that persons to come after you would be, not be doing as good or even better than you. The purpose of having persons within us and having trainings and things would be for persons to be able to empower themselves more, learn more and then come and do better than you. So I am hoping that they will come and they will do better than me. Each president comes with his or her own vision for the union and their own agenda. So in carrying out those, they must remain firm, they must remain steadfast, they must ensure that always at the forefront that it is not about you, the person, but it's about your membership and what is best for them. I also want for them to keep in mind and always remember that those partners that we work with, that those relationships must continue. And there are times when they are going to be rocky, but we must always be willing and able to sit and have conversations.
So who will be the next national executive of the BNTU? That's anyone's guess. What we can say is that over 660 persons have cast their votes, and at this point in time, counting is still underway. The election chief will soon reveal the results of today's voting process. The theme for this year's convention is BNTU, One Union, One Mission, One Voice. I'm Dwayne Moody reporting from Muffles College here in Orange Walk.
After the break, Belizean entrepreneur transforms traditional wear into fashion statement. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Created in several
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. With RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a road group company.
Kite flying is fun, but it can also be dangerous. Fly kites safely by following these tips. Never use wire, metallic thread, or wire-reinforced strings. You could be electrocuted. Remember, even a safely built kite can cause a power outage if it gets caught in a power line. Always use paper, plastic, or wood to build kites. Never fly kites near power lines, in the path of traffic, aircrafts, or near highways. Always fly kites with a responsible adult in open areas, in dry weather, and with clear visibility. Never attempt to remove your kite from a power line. Always call BEL at 0800-235-2273 if your kite gets caught in a power line. Belize Electricity Limited. We care about your safety.
Tour guides, your renewal season is coming up. Please be advised that all tour guide license expires on July 31st, 2023. BTB will start accepting applications for renewals starting May 1st, 2023. Tour guides, we're asking you to apply early in order to have a new and valid license before the current one expires. To submit via email, you'll need a clear scan of each document in PDF format and properly named and labeled. Send your application with all supporting documents to tourguide@belizetourismboard.org and include your full name and your tour guide license number in the subject line of the email. Remember to fill out your applications correctly, as BTB will no longer be accepting incomplete applications. Contact our licensing officers at 227-2420 and press 1 if you have any questions or concerns.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
The last time the Orange Walk running rebels were at the Civic Center, they put a beating on our outside brother who were trying to defend the city. But it's now time that big brother, your Belize Belize Hurricanes, avenge this thrashing for our siblings and make the rebels respect the city.
Let's go. All around.
This Friday night, April 14th at the Belize Civic Center, 9 p.m. sharp, basketball is back from its Easter break, when the #1 team in the BEBL, Belize Hurricanes, goes up against the hottest team in the land, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, where your Hurricanes is about to put a smacking on running rebels. This game may be a finals preview. It gets no bigger than this, where your lengthy team, Belize Hurricanes, led by the tall Chris Fraser, Jamel Harris, Alex Kakama, Kirk Shabba Smith Jr., Greg Buckley and Marquise Cunningham, go up against the wide Orange Walk Running Rebels, led by Big Brian Beso White, Elvis Oliveira, and Matthew Young, in a battle dub that's length versus width. The Bad Boys are back! Bring out the entire family this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center to see your city favorite, Belize Hurricanes versus the Orange Walk Running Rebels in a battle for the #1 seat.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The halftime show will feature a half-court shot to win $4,000. Remember to sign up for the Serena Bay Villas First 5 $4,000 contest. Primary schoolers and high schoolers, bring out your posters and compete for the $500 prize. Lots of phone and tablet giveaways, courtesy of Smart and Cellular World. The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family, Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
One entrepreneur is transforming the traditionally worn head wrap into a fashion statement in Belize. Head wraps are known to be a customary piece of clothing worn in African countries and among the Babo Shanti, a deeply religious group within the Rastafarian community. But Rysden Clare is using his creativity to combine the head wrap and peaked cap designs into one product with multiple functions. Clare has been promoting his peaked head wraps through his brand Gone Ahead Apparels, and his customers are speaking highly of the product. News 5's Paul Lopez takes a closer look in tonight's episode of Belize on Real.
You wrap this portion on your head, you make a knot to hold on the back of your head, and then you just wrap your head all the way up.
One Belizean entrepreneur is making a name for himself through his custom designed head wraps. 2 years ago, Rysden Clare took a leap of faith by venturing into business and launching Gone Ahead Apparels, the brand under which his products are marketed.
The product is a brand that is inspired by the fatigue, the military fatigue cap. Okay, it started from there. You know, the green or the gray or the brown one. That's where it started at. And the only society that, or the culture that really embraced that is the Rastafarian. So I end up tapping into that. So the desire was to get a cap that could cater for them and other people to basically preserve or just a different look. So basically, we reinvent the way that people keep their hair together.
The result is a hybrid between a peak cap and a hair wrap. The design and functionality allows users to take advantage of time while rushing out the door. Clare's head wraps are created in several different styles and can be quickly applied. The finished looks are convenient for any occasion.
It takes you to dimensions and different versions, and you know what I mean, you're not subject to one look as with a hat. A hat, you're only subject to that look. You could try to turn it backwards or sideways and that's where it ends. But with this, you could wrap it, let your hair out, wrap your hair up, change the direction you want, you know what I'm saying?
Today we are at Jay's Spa on Racecourse Street in Belize City. The health resort is owned by 25-year-old June Orozco. After successfully completing a training course with YWCA, June opened her spa in 2018. She offers a wide range of services from hair care to manicure and pedicure. June has also ventured into marketing her homemade natural product line.
I have my own natural product line where I make my own homemade treatment. I'm trying to make my own shampoos. I make my own natural scrubs, as I can show you right here. This one is going to be Jay's Blue Hole Mint Scrub with the Blue Hole Epsom salt, right? So I don't get the labels and stuff for it yet, but look out for this one, Belize. This they're on the market soon. The wrap is nice, it's fashionable, it's cool, but I like it more so because it's a lock protectant. Like, you know, a lot of people with rust and locks like get damaged from the sun and things, so it protects your hair, it looks good, and it's I say go for it.
Kimberly Casanova, a customer of Gone Ahead Apparels, has been growing her dreadlocks for over 2 decades. She was introduced to Clare's product a month ago. Today, she modeled the head wrap for us inside Jay's Spa.
Being truthful, I have never found a wrap that I could work with easily because of the length of my locks. Yeah. So the headbands from Riz are the bomb. Like, I've never found a product that works along with the the heat of the country, for one, because it's breathable material, and it's lightweight to carry my weight. I'm literally obsessed over this product. I'm so in love with it. It comes in different colors. You don't have to categorize the product. Then you can wear it at a wedding, at a beach party, at an outing, at the park, because it comes in various colors, like I said.
Claire's head wrap is similar to turbans used by black warriors or Baba Shanti, one of the strictest mansions of Rastafari. Ras Ruben, the owner of Vegan Bites, is a Baba Shanti. We visited his business today to learn more about the significance of the head wrap for Rastafarians.
We are like the priestly order of the Rastafari movement. So we take on a more priestly discipline, you understand? So the turban is actually to show like a separation, right, or a segregation, so to speak, from everybody else. We're just the average Rasta, because we're supposed to have more discipline as priests, right? So it's like a priestly wear to separate ourselves from the wider congregation. You understand, for sure that the locks is very sacred, so we just don't expose it and don't use it as a style, right? So we keep it concealed. Yes, it is. So the turban really is to keep the covenant concealed.
But not all Rastafarians are members of the Baba Shanti mansion, and not everyone with dreadlocks is Rastafarian. Claire markets his products to everyone, whether your hair is locked, straight, and even if you have no hair on your head, or you wear an afro like Sana Rowland, a brand ambassador for Gone Ahead Apparels.
From the moment I saw it, I knew it was something that I needed, and that's because I'm a natural person, so I have an afro, and sometimes I tend to like not style it, so I need something to just complement my fro, because most of the time I have it out, and then it's kind of like, I wouldn't say basic, but like to add just to add a little dazzle to it, I would add the wrap to it, and it complements it because in the sun it has this peak, so it's really good. And then with the afro-free one, it has kind of like a length going, like dropping down, so it really complements my afro. It's not only for Rastafarians, it's very, very versatile. It's for any hair type. It's for people who don't even have hair too. As you can see, Rizdan is bald, and it just kind of adds to his look. So I would definitely recommend it to any and everybody, because it's not just a trend, but it's a lifestyle, because I feel like it enhances your inner power.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, the United Nations Development Program Regional Representative visits Belize.
My name is Kenrick, and I live in Belize City, and I'm employed as an agent for a company that does reservations for hotels from all over the world. Since amputation, my life has changed minimally. Yes, I don't have my legs to get around, but I have always been an active person. So I do things a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more slower maybe, but I still get it done. Let's say they say we're going to some restaurant, wherever. I need to call and say, do you have access to a wheelchair? And they say, yes, of course. Then I would ask the second question, can I get into your restroom with a wheelchair? And then 99% of the time they'll say no. I would like to encourage everybody who has a disability to not give up. Never, 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 ever give up.
Live and let live. Respect for all Belizeans. Safety is a cornerstone of peace of mind. And for a long time, the Belize National Fire Service has been doing our best to help ensure the safety of the Belizean public. We see that there is more we can do. This is why we have embarked on certifying firefighters to also be able to provide emergency medical services to the communities that we have been proudly serving. This means that we can now assist with both fire and medical emergencies with efficient time. We went even further and created the 990 Communication Center, an emergency dispatcher service developed for quick responses to fires, accidents, and health calls. This service is already presently available for the Cairo region. Just dial 990 and the first question you will be asked is, 990, what is the address of your emergency? You see, if we don't know where you are, we can't get you the help you need. Stay on the line and continue to answer the questions of the dispatcher. They will use the Beacon app to give real-time updates to emergency responders as they approach the situation and will be prepared to serve you. The Belize National Fire Service, the U.S. Embassy of Belize, and Belize Heroes have partnered to make emergency medical services available. We ask for the public to partner with us and call 990 for emergencies. You are help until help arrives.
And there was yet another mass shooting Friday night. Police have been narrowing down suspects. Meanwhile, the president will be meeting with the victims' families.
Just leave! I'm not leaving. You're pushing me.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
The effects of climate change on farming communities will force the agro-productive sector to take on new methods and practices in farming. That is why the Ministry of Agriculture has signed a memorandum of understanding with 4 relevant departments for a climate-resilient and sustainable agriculture project. The project is intended to benefit more than 7,000 households and is made up of 4 components that include the institutional strengthening of 6 participating agencies. News 5's Marian Ali was at the signing ceremony in Belmopan and filed this report.
A memorandum of understanding for a climate-resilient agriculture project funded by the World Bank to the tune of $50 million, an additional $36 million in credit, and $5 million coming from farmers was signed this morning in Belmopan. The overall goal is for the development of a climate-smart method of farming, which will include assisting more than 7,000 households, primarily in the Belize, Cayo, Orange Walk, and Corozal districts, with technology. $16 million will be allotted to a matching grants program intended to support farmers to further strengthen their productive capacity. Project coordinator Roberto Harrison explained how farmers could qualify for financial support.
The matching grant, as it is, will, in window one, support up to a maximum of 12,000 Belize dollars to the beneficiary. In that case, if a farmer would, or a beneficiary would get or want to have that maximum matching grant, he would have to have an investment of 20,000 Belize dollars, of which 8,000 of that would have to be in the form of a loan, or that the farmer could finance it himself. With that respect, we are engaged with participating financial institutions, and all of the institutions in Belize we have discussed to promote the program for us. There's the second window that will look at the large commercial farmers. There's a ratio of 70-30 contribution there as well.
Signing the MOU today were the heads of departments for the National Met Service, the Belize Marketing Board, and UB, which will also benefit directly from the project.
There will be active participants in the project. They'll be providing services to the farmers and to the groups who will be benefiting from this project. With the climate change, the sector that's being affected the most is agriculture. And this project will intend to find ways to mitigate the effects of climate change. And there are different technologies that will be used. And so this project will provide the farmers with those services. So the whole strategy has to change. Should we continue drilling wells to tap into our subterranean aquifers, or should we use surface water for irrigation? And these are the questions, and these are the activities that this project has to deal with. We have to stop using our chemicals. We have to use now bio-inputs. Let us look at biofertilizers. Let us look at biological control of diseases and insects. And so these are the things that this project will focus on.
Tying in with the impact on the terrain are weather conditions, as well as the ability to better detect weather conditions beforehand in order to prepare. To be in that position, Chief Met Officer Ronald Gordon explained that the National Met Service needs an upgrade.
Weather and climate is a significant factor affecting the production or productivity of farmers. So we provide that weather and climate information to assist farmers in planning properly and to take measures to protect their crop. No? So in terms of this particular project, we're going to enhance that service. We have several components, including training, capacity development, enhancement of our weather observing network, enhancement of our database where we collect data, and most importantly, in getting information to the farmers. We already have a lot of information that we produce, but the problems that we encounter sometimes is to getting that information to the farmers or to the community. So one of the important aspects will be the participatory integrated climate service for agriculture, which will be the PISCA project for short, which will be developed as part of this project, will certainly enhance our ability to go out there, develop products tailored to the agricultural community, and to get that information along with the extension officers from the Ministry of Agriculture to the farmers.
The University of Belize has also been included as a part of the project on educating potential farmers on a new course that needs to be taken for climate resilient farming. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Earlier this week, Prime Minister John Bersenio met with the regional representative of the United Nations Development Program. The meeting was to discuss initiatives supported by the UNDP in Belize to improve the economy, develop infrastructure, and achieve objectives aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. And it would seem that Belize is doing great. PM Bersenio says that UNDP wants to see how they can further assist the country with its development.
They're saying that our work is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. So by her visit, it shows a sort of importance that they're giving to Belize, wanting to come to take a look at the work that we're doing and to see how best they can continue to cooperate with us. UNDP has been a good partner to Belize, and they believe that we can find ways on how to strengthen it and for them to be able to do even more of the work that they do here, for instance, with digitization, with women, with young people. So we're quite excited about that visit.
For people who enjoyed the services of the ADO buses from Mexico, they will be coming back. The cabinet has approved the return of Fuente del Norte and ADO bus services in Belize. Passengers who traveled anywhere from Guatemala through to Mexico by the bus before the COVID pandemic enjoyed the services these companies offered. Through the restoration of their road service permit, ADO buses will provide services from Belize City to Merida and Cancun, starting May 1st. Meanwhile, Fuente del Norte will provide services from Belize City to Flores and Guatemala City starting April 21st. The Ministry of Transport assures the public and Belizean bus operators that Fuente del Norte and ADO bus lines will operate under strict conditions, including with international road service permits that are used for every run per day, and that must be paid for beforehand. Operators crossing the border points must also have a manifest of their passengers on board, and the buses will not be allowed to pick up local commuters en route to their final destination. Hence, only passengers traveling to Mexico or Guatemala who already have their tickets will be permitted to board these buses. The ADO buses will commence services at the Belize City bus terminal, while Fuente del Norte buses will have designated stops in San Ignacio and outside the Belize City terminal spaces to take on passengers. The Transport Department informs that there is a $500 fine if these bus companies contravene any of the conditions outlined on their road service permits, as well as the cancellation of their permits. We asked Chief Transport Officer Diane Vasquez how they can ensure that the international lines will adhere to their guidelines.
We will be having meetings with both companies next week to discuss the permit fees, what are the conditions that they'll be adhering to. For example, they will not be allowed to pick up local commuters. They can only move with ticketed passengers to their final destination, and we will be collaborating with the police department and have heightened enforcement with our wardens to ensure that there is full compliance of these conditions. And if they contravene any of the conditions outlined in their permit will be subject to cancellation, or they might incur a fine. Their bus permit or their runs will not in any way affect the local bus schedule because they are scheduled to work at night. Yes. And so, again, like I said, when it comes to enforcement, yes, the department has been receiving, a lot of feedback that there is this perception that there is weekend presence or weak presence on the highways, correct. But that is actually not true. We actually have a lot of operators reaching out to our office complaining about violation tickets they are receiving. Of course, I have to highlight that we have 48 wardens in our department responsible for patrolling our national highways. Basically, international road service permits, yes, they will have to pay per day. So there is a fee for the permit per day per run.
How feasible is that?
It's very feasible because that was the infrastructure that existed before. Yes. Okay. And so what happens, and this is why we are going to have a meeting with these companies before they resume their services, because we will be looking at the permits, the fees, and ensuring that there is proper payments being done, and we will ensure that they understand that we're very serious about compliance and holding them accountable and responsible for the conditions outlined on their road service permit.
Cabinet recently set up a ministerial subcommittee to meet with the Belize Sugar Industries Limited and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association to chart a way forward on how they will find common ground on their differences. Minister of Home Affairs will chair the subcommittee. Today, Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo Mai, gave us an update on how that process is going.
The meetings we've had at BSI has been very cordial, very respectful. We've met with the BSCFA also, and I should say that the very important topic is the fair trade premiums for the BCFA, which they believe has been unfairly withheld from them. And based on the criteria, on the requirements for fair trade funding, they have complained to the international organization FlowCert, which is the policing body. And FlowCert, I believe, has suspended BSI from what I understand. And I think they are doing an audit of BSI. We do not know what the reason, the exact reason is, but it is as a result of the complaint. Now, they have to correct, they have to put the corrective measures in place for the suspension to be lifted. We understand that Julia Clark from Tate & Lyle, who manages fair trade, will be in the country on Monday and Tuesday to speak with BCFA on that matter. So before we move forward to a commission of inquiry and everything else, the fair trade matter has to be solved. If it is that the fair trade premiums have been unfairly withheld, then it has to be given back to them. And so that is where we are right now. But we are hoping that Tate & Lyle, BSI and BSCFA will settle this matter so that we can move forward to the Commission of Inquiry.
Up next, let there be light in Seashore Park.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information. Social Security at your fingertips. My Social Security.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the Split the Bill button where he selects the Evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Two weeks ago, we heard from the leader of the Belize People's Front, Nancy Marin, who is also a businesswoman and farmer. She has opened a restaurant that offers exotic meats on the menu, and ostrich is one of them. But the Forestry Department has an issue with the classification of ostriches based on international standards before they can grant permits for their importation. Are they livestock or are they wildlife animals? The Belize Agriculture Health Authority has already granted Marin permits to keep the ostriches she has in her possession, which she says she purchased right here in Belize. Today, we asked Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai for his position on this new potential industry in Belize. He said that as long as the importers can meet all the standards, he supports them.
I have no problem with somebody wanting to import ostrich if they meet and they comply with the regulations. If it's a CITES, if it's not, if it's an animal health issue, if they comply with it, I have no problem. I will go and enjoy the ostrich too, right? But once they meet and comply with the regulations that they are to. In Yucatan, I've seen farms of it. Other parts of the world have, they consider it livestock. It may be livestock, but it may still be CITES. Okay. Right, so your country has to regulate based on what we are seeing it as the CITES International, and so we have to ensure that these birds that come into the country meet our regulations. Once they meet the regulations, then there is no problem.
There's a demand for poultry in the Caribbean, and Belize might get the green light to supply CARICOM countries with the coveted source of protein. According to Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai, it could be a good opportunity for Belize, whose prices are competitive with other regions. But the confirmation note is still pending from Jamaica.
There's a demand, a demand for poultry in the region. Yeah. CARICOM, who is a net importer of poultry from the U.S. The U.S. has the cheapest poultry, it's heavily subsidized. But even so, it appears from the producers of poultry in our country, it appears that our price at this time is competitive with other producers, and so the CARICOM is looking to this side now to see if we can supply some of the shortages they have in the region, because Mexico has avian influenza. I think the US has it too. I mean, I was in Naples a couple of months ago, and they were selling a chick, a day-old chick, for $20 US. Right, and there were the people offering it to those who live in rural areas, a chick for $20 US. And I remember one of my friends saying, oh, "That's craziness," you know. But it just shows you that the price of poultry is high, the demand is high, and therefore it's a market opportunity for countries like us, because we are self-sufficient in poultry production, and corn and soybean now, and so that is a plus for us, right? It's an opportunity for us if it happens. We are still waiting for the Jamaicans to get back to us.
The Ministry of Blue Economy, in collaboration with the Belize City Council and the SEOS International, inaugurated a set of park lights inside the Seashore Park in Belize City today. The lights were installed to improve visibility and safety on the grounds for park goers. We spoke with those responsible for the upgrades.
SEOS is a sustainable solution, and we work mainly with solar lights. We also have other turnkey solutions that are accessible. We provide industrial and commercial lighting. Also, we do other different projects. But in this regard, this park, it was important for us to be partnering with the Blue Economy Ministry and Civil Aviation, because we understand safety. That was priority when we first spoke to the CEO, Kennedy Carrillo.
If you look throughout the city, one of the things that we have tried to do since the inception of our administration was to brighten up the city a bit. We know that crime is something that is prevalent within the city. We know that there are some areas that we classify as hot spots or maybe dark spots, and these are the areas where perpetrators would target civilians for different criminal activities. So that's something that an initiative that we have embarked on for quite some time. So you're seeing in a lot of areas, for example, like the overpass, where it's being completely illuminated along Marine Parade. So what we're seeing here today with this park specifically adds to that for us.
The Ministry of the Blue Economy and Civil Aviation's building is right in front of this park. And 2 years ago, when we moved in, we found a park that had been neglected for some while. And we thought, what an excellent opportunity to be able to provide a prototype of what Blue Economy and Civil Aviation is. And as you can appreciate, we have really come a long way with this park, and we have been able to not only depict some of the civil aviation, but also the Blue Economy. And we are very proud that we are also able to depict the collaborative effort between the government, but also the private sector, as well as the community.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.